Okay, so the most basic of English is uh, sentence. Okay, and what constitute a sentence? It's parts of speech. Different parts of speech, your noun, pronouns, adjective, adverb, everything is used to constitute a sentence in English. Okay, so we are going to cover parts of speech first. Okay, uh, okay, I'm gonna converse in English, and I will encourage both of you to do the same as well. If there's anything that you just do not understand, you can stop me and ask. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So, what are parts of speech? Every sentence that you speak or write includes words that fall into different kinds of classes called parts of speech. Those word classes are building blocks of grammar. Each category plays a different role in communicating meaning in English language. So, as I stated before, every sentence that you speak in English, it includes parts of speech. Some includes noun. The most simple sentence usually have your noun and verb and an object, right? And the more complex the sentence gets, the more parts of speech it contains. Okay, so there are 8 main parts of speech, them being noun, pronoun, verb, conjunction, adjective, adverb, preposition, and interjection. Now we'll look at each of them individually. Okay. Okay. Noun. A noun is commonly defined as a word that refers to a person, place, thing, or an idea. I think the first thing that we learn when we start learning English is noun. Noun is the name of anything. Anything that can be defined as a word is noun. Like Shah Jahan was a wise king. Sarah is making pasta. Here's Shah Jahan as well as king. Both of these things are noun. Both of these things are words that refer to people, that refer to a person. So both of these are called nouns. Shah Jahan as well as a king. Then, if you come to second sentence, it's Sarah is making a pasta. Here, Sarah is a word that we use to refer to a person, but pasta is not a person, it's a thing. Yet, we count it as a noun. Okay, so now, even noun is further divided into categories, which are common noun, proper noun, abstract noun, concrete noun, countable noun, and uncountable noun. So, what is a common noun? Common noun is anything that refers to a general name of things. Okay, like boy, tree, dirt. All these things are generic things. They are not a common. They are not a specific name for someone. Like your name is Hira. It's your specific name. It's not a common thing. But you are a girl, and girl is a common noun because it is generally used to describe a person. Okay. So it's like Mama has given me a new bag for school. Here, the common nouns are Mama because we generally call our mothers Mama, or it can be here. It could also be used mother. Mother has given me a new bag for school. Both of these are general names. And then there's bag and school, right? Okay. Okay. And then there's proper noun. Proper noun refers to a specific person, place, idea, or thing. It is always written with a capital letter. So proper noun is your name, the name of the city that you live in, the name of your country, anything that has a specific name for it, it's a proper noun. She was born in Lahore. Here, she is not a proper noun because it's a general term that we use to point towards a female. But Lahore is a proper noun. It is a name. It is a specific name given to a specific city. Okay, you both here with me. You both understand this.
Yes, we understood it.
Shan, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then there are concrete noun and abstract noun. What is a concrete noun? Concrete noun is something that can be experienced through our senses. Okay, like what are our five senses? To see, smell, touch, hear, all of these senses. So I enjoy watching the sunset every evening from the balcony. Here, sunset is a concrete noun. Why? Because we can watch a sunset, we can see a sunset. So it sunset is a concrete noun. Whereas abstract noun is something that refers to our intangible things. Intangible things are those which you can feel but you cannot see or hear or touch. Those are our intangible things. Okay, like this example over here, she has put her faith in and trust in me. Here, faith and trust both are the things that you can feel, but you cannot see, you cannot touch them. There is no physical existence of faith or trust, but there is an existence of them that you can feel. So these are called intangible nouns, intangible things, and anything that refers to an intangible thing is called an abstract noun. Okay. The next are countable noun and uncountable noun. Countable noun is pretty much obvious from the name. Anything that you can count. Okay, it exists in both singular and plural form. The little girl was playing near the mango trees. Here, little girl is a singular thing and mango trees is a plural. But both of these are countable now because right now there is just one girl. We are talking about single little girl. But if there were more girls, we could have counted them, right? If there were three girls, we could say there were three girls. If there were more than that, we can count girls. So it is a countable noun as well as the mango trees, right? Whereas in uncountable noun, it describes things that cannot be counted. Okay, by saying it cannot be counted, we're saying like a single particle of it cannot be counted mostly. Like we do not usually use the indefinite article an with uncountable nouns. Okay, so put only 1 tablespoon of sugar in my tea. Sugar is something that you cannot count on its own. You can't say one sugar, two sugar, three sugar, because usually the sugar grains are so small that you cannot sit and count them. But you can say 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt. See, so anything that cannot be counted on its own, it's called an uncountable noun. The next part of speech is pronoun. Not this part of the noun. Okay, a pronoun is a word used instead of a noun. It operates just like a noun in the sentence, but it is essential to determine its correct use. Okay, so pronoun is a word that we use instead of a noun. When we do not want to keep repeating a noun, we use a pronoun instead of it. He is a young man could simply be Arham is a young man. But we did not want to repeat our noun, so we wrote he is a young man. Laiba is absent today, but he is feeling ill. Laiba is absent today because Laiba is feeling ill seems a bit unusual. It seems like we are talking in third person. So we use a pronoun instead of using Laiba again. Laiba is absent today because she is feeling ill. Okay. So what are the types of pronouns? First is personal pronouns. It refers to a particular person, group, or thing. I, she, it, they, them, he. Yeah, the example is simple. We both met at a party last month. Instead of writing two names, we just wrote we both met at a party last month. Possessive pronoun represents the ownership or possession of a noun. Something possessive pronoun is something that is used to show possession, like something that you own. For example, the white puppy is mine. Now here I am showing that the white puppy is in my possession. It is mine. It's my thing, right? So instead of writing is my property or something like that, we just use is mine to shorten it and to make the sentence more relatable. Reflexive pronoun are often used when the subject and object of the verb are same. Words like myself, yourself, himself, ourselves, yourselves are all reflexive pronouns. Sarah needs to do this work herself. Okay? So we are talking about Sarah here only. We are talking about Sarah needs to do Sarah's work. But we are not using an apostrophe and then again the name of the Sarah. We are just saying Sarah needs to do this work herself. Like we are showing that this work is to be done by Sarah, but instead of writing her name again, we are using a reflexive pronoun. This is the same as we had to say, I am doing my work myself. Okay. And reciprocal pronoun express mutual actions or relationships. Each other, one another. Okay. The boxers punched each other. Here we are showing that the action is happening between the two people. It's happening mutual means when two-person do the same thing. Okay, it's a mutual relationship. It's continuing on by both of their consent. Okay, so the boxers punched each other and the boxers just fighting among themselves. Then there is relative pronoun. It refers or relates to a noun mentioned previously in a sentence. I met Haris, who had just returned from London. Okay. And then there is interrogative pronoun, introduces a question. Who does she need now? Or what does she need now? Which sandwich did she need eat now? All of these things are interrogative pronouns. Okay. Then there is verb. Verb is an action, a state, or an occurrence. Any work that is done is called a is pointed out by a verb. He buys new clothes every week. He ran a long distance. Both of these things are actions. Okay, buying is also an action as well as running is an action. So verb is basically uh, a word that describes any action. Okay? There are types of verbs. First one is transition verb. It denotes an action that passes over from the doer subject to the receiver object. The teacher made the question paper. My friends are writing an application. Okay. So may, uh, in transitive verb is something that denotes an action which has both a subject as well as an object. Any sentence that has a subject as well as an object, its verb is probably a transitive verb. Okay, my friends are writing an application. My sister is baking a cake. Here, cake is an object where my sister is our subject. So this sentence has both of it. It has a subject, a transitive verb, and an object. Whereas in intransitive verb, you do not need an object to complete sentence. Okay, all you have is a subject and a verb. When you have only the subject in a sentence, then the verb is an intransitive verb. Okay, like the baby sleeps, Mr. John speaks loudly. In both of these sentences, we do not have an object. What is an object? Anything that is receiving the action. So here, nothing is receiving the action. We are not saying the baby is sleeping on the mattress. We are just saying the baby sleeps. Our sentence ends over here and our sentence makes sense. It is not an incomplete sentence, it is a complete one. Are you both with me so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we move on to adjectives. An adjective is defined as a word used for describing and modifying a noun. It indicates the quality, quantity, and or any distinctive feature of a noun. What is an adjective? It describes your noun. She is a clever girl. Here, clever is describing what kind of a girl she is. Just like if you were to say he is a clever boy. Anything that describes your noun is an adjective. He gave me 5 apples. Here are adjective describes how many apples there were. It describes the count of the apples, but it still describes a noun, so it is an adjective. There is little time left for exam. Right? More than one adjectives usually come in the following order: general opinion, specific opinion, size, age, shape, color, nationality, material purposes. So what are these? These are uh, what your adjectives usually come in the form of. Like if you have general opinion about something, you can say that is a bad pencil. It is your general opinion. Okay, or no, it is just specific opinion. But if you were to say, I uh, dislike pencils, or Sana usually likes bad pencil. It is a opinion. Okay, and then you can even describe size of something, like the room is quite big, or he was 7 years old. Anything that describes, or he was older than her. Anything that describes a noun is an adjective, right? Okay. Moving on to adverb. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. It often ends in "ly", but some adverbs look exactly the same as their adjective counterparts, such as runs fast, pretty well, etc. Examples क्या है हमारे पास? My brother sings loudly. Here we are modifying a verb. My brother sings. Sings is our verb. But now we are describing how our brother sings. If we are saying my brother sings loudly, we are modifying, we are describing our verb. So it is an adverb. Loudly is our adverb because it is modifying our verb. Giraffe is very tall animal. Here we are modifying our adjective. And the show ended too quickly. Here quickly is already an adverb. Now we are modifying our adverb by adding to in the sentence. See, if it were to say the show ended quickly, we would still have an adverb. Quickly would be our adverb. But now we have modified our adverb by another adverb, which is to. So anything that modifies or describes our verb or adjective or any other adverb is an adverb. Anything that modifies or describes our noun is adjective, whereas anything that modifies or describes, okay, modifies and describes our verb, adjective, or adverb is an adverb. It usually expresses manner, place, time, frequency, degree, etc. It answers such questions like how, in what way, when, where, and to what extent. Prepositions. Okay. Preposition is a word that is used to connect nouns, pronouns, and verbs within a sentence. It shows a relationship between words and conveys concepts such as comparison, position, place, direction, time, possession, and how an action is completed. So basically, preposition is something that connects your nouns and pronouns. Like the pencil is on the table. Pencil is a noun as well as table. Both of these are nouns. And what is connecting them? It's on. And on is our preposition. Right? There are many prepositions in English. And few examples are above, across, along, near, into, toward, upon, within, etc. The cat is sitting under the table. Here the cat is a noun and table is also a noun, and we are describing their relationship. We are telling the position of one noun on the other noun. And for that we use a preposition which is under. The cat is sitting under the table. If we were not to use under, we could have not expressed where is the cat position. Okay. And then there is I usually read in the library. Here also we are positioning, we are telling the position of one noun onto the other noun. Then there is conjunction. Conjunction is a word that joins words, clauses, phrases, or two parts of a sentence. It makes a link among words or groups of words to show a relationship between them. So a conjunction is a word that joins two parts of a sentence, right? It tells a relationship between them, like and, but, or, nor, so, far, yet. So what is a conjunction? Like I like cricket, but my brother likes tennis. These are two different sentences. These are two independent sentences. Okay. We are going to cover what is an independent sentence, but let me just give you a review right now also. Do any of you know what is an independent sentence, by the way? Hira, do you know what is an independent sentence?
No, I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. And Shan, do you?
No, ma'am.
Independent sentence is any sentence that makes complete sense on its own. Like I like cricket is an independent sentence because it makes sense on its own. It's a complete sentence. Even if we remove all the other words from this that are after it, we will still have a sentence that makes sense. I like cricket. It is a complete sentence. And so is my brother likes tennis. My brother likes tennis is also a complete sentence, even if we remove all the things that are before it, right? So both of these sentences are independent sentences, and we are joining them by a word but. I like cricket, but my brother likes tennis. So the relationship that is described between these two sentences is by a conjunction, that is but. Now over here we have God made the country and man made the town. Here also we are showing the relationship between two independent clauses, two independent sentences. God made the country and man made the town. I studied medicine because I always wanted to be a doctor. Now here, one of the sentence, both of these sentences are independent. I studied medicine is something that we are telling someone that I studied medicine, okay, or it's also that I always wanted to be a doctor. Both of these are independent sentence, and then we are showing the relationship between it. We are showing that why is why did I study medicine, and to show that relationship we use the word because, which is our conjunction, right? Okay. Now, interjection. An interjection is a word which expresses sudden feelings or strong emotions. It is included in a sentence to express a sentiment such as surprise, disbelief, disgust, joy, anger, or excitement. Interjections are obviously something that we use to express our feelings. Like when we hurt our toe and we say, ow, I hurt my toe. So that ow that you use, it's an interjection. Same as hooray, wow, OMG. All of these things are interjection. The examples being hello, what are you doing here? Yeah, yay, we have won the game. Hello as well as yay are our interjection. And when we use our interjection, we use a exclamation mark. We do not use a period. We do not use full stop. We use exclamation mark. Okay. Okay. So since it's been half an hour and the session is about to end. Okay, so now we are covering types of sentences. There are majorly four types of sentences: simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. What is a simple sentence? A simple sentence has one independent clause and no dependent clause. Okay, we had just covered what an independent clause. Any sentence that makes sense on its own is an independent clause or an independent sentence. And what is a dependent clause? Any clause that does not make sense on its own. You need to have another clause attached to it in relationship with it to make sense of that clause is a dependent clause. The student yawned. It's an independent clause because it makes sense on its own. It describes something and makes complete sense. So, what is a simple sentence? Are one single independent clause. It's a simple sentence. The student yawned. I drank water. She played hockey. all these simple sentences. It has a simple object or simple subject and a verb. Okay, so one subject and verb. Although a simple sentence cannot have a dependent clause, it can have a modifiers. Okay, so a simple sentence cannot have a dependent clause, means it cannot have a clause that does not make sentence and needs a conjunction to make sense of it, but it can have modifiers. What are modifiers? Modifiers are the words that describe something. They are the descriptive words in a sentence. The tall student sitting in the back in my algebra class yawned loudly. Okay. The sentence could have just been the student yawned loudly. It would have been a simple sentence. But now we have used modifiers, meaning descriptive words, to describe the scene, to describe our sentence even more, which is the tall student sitting in the back in my algebra class yawned loudly. So here all the extra words are modifiers. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So before we move forward, why don't both of you give me one example of a simple sentence and then a simple sentence with modifiers? Hira, do you want to go first?
Yes, ma'am. I'm thinking. Can you wait a second?
Okay, sure.
If I say the simple sentence will be she drank milk.
Yes, good. She drank milk is a simple sentence. And what
Now I
about
need to
a,
convert
yes,
this sentence to with modifiers.
could you repeat yourself, please?
I'm saying, should I convert this sentence to with modifiers?
Yes, yes. Add
Okay.
modifiers to the same sentence. Okay, Hira, repeat what was your simple sentence?
She drank milk.
She drank milk. Okay, so here we have a subject as well as a verb. So it's a simple sentence. Now to add modifiers, you just have to describe it further. Like she drank milk from her favorite white cup. Okay, so these are our modifiers. These are
Okay.
describing our simple sentence further. Okay,
Yes.
and Shan, what about you? Can you give me an example, please?
Ma'am, I am play cricket.
Okay.
Simple
First of all,
sentence.
no, you cannot say I am play cricket. If you are using am, then it has to be a continuous tense. I am playing cricket is the correct sentence.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So I am playing cricket is a simple sentence, and to add modifiers.
I am play cricket in Ramadan.
Okay. Good. I am playing cricket in Ramzan. Okay. Now we'll move forward to So here, a simple sentence contains only one independent clause, but it can have more than one object or verb. So, for example, like here, your sentence was, she is drinking milk. Yes, she drank milk. Okay. So now we can convert it into Hira and Laiba drank milk. This does not convert our subject into two subjects. It just makes it a compound one. Okay. Hira and Laiba will be considered one subject. And over here it says the student and his friend yawned. The student and his friend is a compound subject now. Okay. So what did we say before? We said a simple sentence contains one subject and one verb. Okay. So we said a simple sentence contains one subject and one verb. So now if we are using two subject over here, it won't count as two, it will count as a compound subject. The student and his friend yawned. Similarly, if we were to say the student yawned and fell asleep, both of these verbs will be counted as one. It will be a compound verb. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me example with with a compound subject and a compound verb. A simple sentence.
Ma'am, I couldn't understand the compound verb.
Okay, let me explain. Can you repeat, Hira, what is the basic uh, rule of a simple sentence?
Simple sentence contains one subject and a verb.
One subject and one verb, and it's an
Yes.
independent clause. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
these are the rules of a simple sentence. Now, one can argue that if I say Hira and Laiba drink milk, now we have two subjects, Hira as well as Laiba.
Yes.
But that is not true, because Hira and Laiba are performing the same action. They are same subject. They are two entities, but they are not two subjects. Okay, two subjects will be if I said Hira is drinking milk and Laiba is eating cookies. Now they are two different subjects because they are in two different clauses. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
because over here Hira and Laiba are in a single clause and they are performing a single action. They are called a compound subject. Okay, just the
Okay.
same, a compound verb is a multiple actions performed by a single subject. The student yawned and fell asleep. Over here, yawned and fell asleep both are verbs, right? They both are verbs. They both are
Yes.
actions. But they are not two actions. They are not two verbs. They are a compound verb. If I were to say the student yawned and his friend fell asleep, then it would have been two different verbs. We would have counted it as two different verbs. Right now, because a single subject is performing both of these actions, it is in a single clause. That is why it is a compound verb.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Now I can understand it.
Chan, did you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
A sentence with all these elements will be long, but it is still simple because it contains only one independent clause. Okay, the thing that I just told you, it is repeated over here. That a sentence that has both compound object, subject and a compound verb will be long. Obviously it will get long, but it will be a simple sentence. Why? Because it will only have one independent clause. Like the example over here is the tall student sitting in the back in my physics class and his friend yawned loudly and fell asleep. Over here, the tall student sitting in the back of my class in physics and his friend both are subject, and it's a compound subject because it is in a single independent clause. As well as yawned loudly and fell asleep are a compound verb because again it is in a single independent clause. Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me an example of it, please. Use compound subject and as well as compound verb in your sentence. Okay,
Hassan.
one more thing before you start. Pay attention that we have used and over here at two different times, right? We have used and after class and before his friend, and also we have used and between loudly and fell asleep, right?
Yes.
But both of these ands are not showing relationship between two different clause. Okay, they are not constituting a relationship between two different sentences. We are just using and over here to connect two nouns and two verbs. That is why it is a single simple sentence. Understood that much? Or should I repeat this in Urdu?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please.
Repeat in Urdu.
Okay. If you want me to repeat something in Urdu, just ask. Okay, it's fine. अच्छा,
Okay, ma'am.
तो हम इधर क्या बोल रहे हैं? हम इधर ये बोल रहे हैं कि जो मेरी क्लास में एक लंबा लड़का है और उसका दोस्त. अब यहाँ पे हमने क्या बोला है? लंबा लड़का और उसका दोस्त. यहाँ पे हम ये नहीं बोल रहे लंबा लड़का जो सो गया था और उसका दोस्त जो खेल रहा था. अगर हम इस तरह बोलते तो जो है ना ये सिंपल सेंटेंस नहीं रहता. क्यों नहीं रहता? क्योंकि लंबा लड़का जो सो गया था एक पूरा सेंटेंस हो जाता, ठीक है, और उसका दोस्त जो खेल रहा था एक अपने आप में पूरा सेंटेंस हो जाता, और इन दोनों सेंटेंस को हमारा और जो है वो जोड़ रहा होता, इसलिए सिंपल सेंटेंस नहीं रहता. ठीक है ना? ये इतनी बात समझ में आई?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
अच्छा, अब इधर लेकिन हम क्या बोल रहे हैं कि जो लंबा लड़का मेरी क्लास में होता है और उसका दोस्त, यहाँ पे और हम दो चीजों को मिलाने के लिए इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, दो जुमलों को मिलाने के लिए इस्तेमाल नहीं कर रहे. ठीक है? और उसका दोस्त जमाई लेते रहे और सोते रहे. इधर भी हम जमाई लेने और सोने को मिलाने के लिए और इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, यानी कि हमारे काम को मिलाने के लिए और इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, जुमलों को मिलाने के लिए और इस्तेमाल नहीं कर. जहां हम किसी भी दो जुमलों को मिलाने के लिए और इस्तेमाल कर देंगे, वहां पे हमारा सेंटेंस सिंपल सेंटेंस नहीं रहेगा. ठीक है? हमारा सेंटेंस तब तक सिंपल सेंटेंस रहेगा जब तक वो पूरा एक जुमला बना रहा है. अगर हम यहाँ से जो है ना सारी फजूल चीजें हटा दें तो हमारे पास सिंपल सेंटेंस क्या रह जाएगा कि द टॉल स्टूडेंट एंड हिज फ्रेंड yawned loudly and fell asleep, जो कि क्या है? हमारा एक सेंटेंस है, एक जुमला है. अगर मैं इधर एंड पे खत्म कर दूं, फॉर सपोज पहला वाला जो हमारा एंड है, द टॉल स्टूडेंट सिटिंग इन द बैक इन माई फिजिक्स क्लास. अब ये पूरा सेंटेंस नहीं है. मैं कह रही हूँ जो मेरी क्लास फिजिक्स की क्लास में पीछे एक लड़का बैठता है. अब अगर मैं इतना बोल के चुप हो जाऊं तो आप बोलोगे ना भाई इसके आगे क्या है, ये तो पूरा सेंटेंस ही नहीं किया आपने. जो लड़का पीछे बैठता है उसके बारे में क्या? ये सेंटेंस मेरा पूरा तो नहीं हुआ ना, ये तो आधा ही रह गया, ये अधूरा जुमला है. सही। तो जब हमारा जुमला पूरा हो जाएगा और हम उसको किसी दूसरे जुमले के साथ किसी कंजंक्शन से नहीं जोड़ रहे होंगे तो वो हमारा क्या होगा, एक सिंपल सेंटेंस होगा। अब आई, क्लियर हुई बात?
यस मैम।
चलो अब मुझे
यस मैम।
इसके एग्जाम्पल दो।
If I give you the example of a compound sentence like Arham and Hassan are reading book.
Good. Here you have used compound subject.
Compound subject, yes.
Yes. Now give me an example of compound verb.
Okay, ma'am.
Use both. Arham and Hassan are reading book and
What, ma'am?
I am saying use compound verb in this sentence as well. Arham and Hassan are reading books and
Arham and Hassan are reading book
use another verb in the sentence. That's it.
and playing cricket.
Okay. According to the rules, the sentence is right, but it does not make sense. They are reading book and playing cricket at the same time
Exactly, but I was there.
and
But I
writing.
understood.
They are reading. San and Arham are reading book and writing. Okay, Shan, it's your turn. Can you please give me an example?
मैम पहले सिंपल वर्ड।
I could not understand what you just said. Could you repeat, please?
सिंपल वर्ड के ऊपर पहले एग्जांपल दूं।
सिंपल सेंटेंस के ऊपर तो हमने दे ली थी ना एग्जाम्पल। अब आप
जी
मुझे
मैम।
सिंपल सेंटेंस की वो एग्जाम्पल दें जिसके अंदर कंपाउंड सब्जेक्ट और कंपाउंड वर्ब हो। जैसे हिरा ने दी कि अरहम एंड
ओके मैम।
हसन आर प्लेइंग क्रिकेट एंड रीडिंग।
Abdullah and Hassan play cricket and fun together.
Okay. And having fun together would be the correct sentence because fun is a noun, it's not a verb. Okay. Over here, you are not using fun as a verb. You need two verbs. So, Arham and Abdullah are playing cricket and having fun. Good. Okay. So, we are going to go forward now. Okay. Now we have compound sentence. The first one was simple sentence. Now it's compound sentence. A compound sentence has two or more independent clauses that are usually joined by a coordinating conjunctions. Okay, so we read about conjunctions. There are three main categories of conjunction: coordinating, subordinating, and correlating. There are three different kinds of conjunctions. Okay, so now over here we are talking about coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are the conjunctions that connect two independent clauses. They are, for suppose, your and, but, and all of that. Okay. So what is a compound sentence? Compound sentence has two independent clauses. हमारे simple sentence के अंदर कितने independent clause थे? सिर्फ एक. यहाँ पे हमारे पास दो अदर इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज हैं और वो दो अदर इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज किससे ज्वाइन हुए हुए होंगे? कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शन से. लाइक हेनरी गॉट अ न्यू जॉब. Henry got a new job is an independent clause. It makes sense on its own. If we were to stop over here, we will have a complete sentence. Henry got a new job. मुझे इससे आगे कुछ बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है इसका सेंस बनाने के लिए. And then we have another independent clause. He has to move. उससे नकल मकानी करनी है, उससे मूव करना है. ये भी अपने आप में एक प्रॉपर कंप्लीट सेंटेंस है. तो ये भी हमारा क्या है? एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है. अब इन दोनों इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज को क्या चीज जोड़ रही है? वो है सो. तो सो हमारा क्या हुआ? कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शन. हेनरी गॉट अ न्यू जॉब सो ही हैज टू मूव. ओके, आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ होमवर्क. ये भी हमारा एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू हैव टाइम टू स्टडी टुनाइट. This is also our independent clause. And over here, both of these independent clauses are connected with a word but. And but is what? A coordinating conjunctions. Okay. So, what are the rules of a compound sentence?
It contains two independent clauses and which are joined by a coordinating conjunction.
Good. It contains two independent clauses that are joined by a coordinating conjunction. Now, please provide me with an example. Both of you.
Ma'am, Shan and Sayam are good friends because Sayam help with any time.
No. Okay, over here, because is not a coordinating conjunctions.
But
And.
okay, ma'am.
Repeat your sentence again now.
Shan and Sayam are good friends and Sayam are help in any time.
Shyam helps him anytime.
Sorry,
Okay, and Shyam helps him every time.
every
So
time.
Shyam helps him every time is an independent clause, and Shyam and Shan are good friends is an independent clause. And we have connected them by the use of which word?
Coordinative
Coordinating
conjunction.
conjunction. That was and. Okay.
And
Yes. Okay. Hira, your turn.
Sarah did not studied but passed with flying colors. Did not study.
Okay. Sarah did not study is an independent clause as she passed,
But she passed with flying
with flying
colors.
colors. And she passed with flying colors is also an independent clause. Okay, good. Okay, now our time is up for tonight, but I would really request you both to go over this compound sentence and simple sentence. Okay, क्योंकि अब आगे जाके हमारे पास जो है वो कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस और कंपाउंड कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस है, और अगर आप दोनों को जो है यही चीज जो है वो पूरी तरीके से क्लियर नहीं होगी या दिमाग में नहीं बैठी हुई होगी, तो फिर आप उसमें कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे. ओके, तो इसको प्लीज जो है वो दोबारा पढ़ना, और इसका जो है ना वो एग्जाम्पल्स और इसके जो मैंने आपको रूल्स बताए वो अपने पास लिख लो एक जगह पे ताकि आपको याद रहे. Okay, and then at the end of this I will give you an exercise to solve. It's a really simple and really short exercise, but it will help you identify how much of this you really got. Okay,